Hello, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Hi, guys. So we have a guest speaker today. Probably we'll wait for another 2-3 minutes until everyone joins.
How are you doing, Adina?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you guys? How is the school going?
Everything is good.
Nice. I know you have a lot of questions about the market and everything. So we will be also having a mentoring with me and Oscar, probably in a couple of weeks. So we will cover all the interview questions, market questions, and background check as well. So, okay, so let me introduce, I think Emma, you're here.
Yes, hi.
Nice. Hi, good to see you. Looking good.
Thank you.
So, guys, this is Emma. She's our graduate from Spring 20 batch. Emma was able to manage her studies, being a full-time mom with a small kid, studying online. So she started when the pandemic started. It was really stressful, but she managed to go through the school, and she landed a job right now in San Francisco in the company. But you got 2 or 3 offers, right?
2 offers. I was away for other ones, but then I stopped interviewing. I was happy with 2.
Okay, yeah, nice. So I'm gonna stop here. Emma, if you can share your experience, tell your story about the school, how you started, your background before, and then just how you went to the market and how you got jobs, and maybe do the Q&A at the end. Okay,
Okay, sure.
awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so hi everyone. As Adina introduced me, my name is Emma. I'm a SDEV for 7 years. Just kidding. So this was pretty much my introduction during interviews. So before studying, actually I was studying in Loyola University. Most of you guys maybe know, and it's pretty expensive, maybe 50K one semester. And I had to drop out because it was very expensive. I couldn't afford it at that time, and being single mom, working at the same time as well. So one of my friends referred me, and I heard about DevX school. Actually, a previous friend had just recently graduated from previous batch, and I heard all the good words and how successful they were. And with zero background, as you guys all know, you can learn so much, and you can go in the market and be successful. So I gave it a try. I actually quit my job. I fully dedicated to studying. And even before that, I mean, it was COVID. So actually, you couldn't even work anyway. So we were all at home during that time. The first day of school actually was the first day of lockdown for us. So we were actually prepared to attend school. It was a bummer at the moment because we were not prepared to study online, but I found it that it was very helpful. And even still, from studying online, The materials and the study delivered by our mentors was very effective. Um, I managed to focus and learn a lot. And one key that I would suggest, just ask a lot of questions when you don't understand something. And that's what we did as a whole batch, actually. When we didn't understand something, we asked a lot of questions to make sure we understand, because if you graduate with uncertainty and you don't know something, that will affect you later on at work. So it was about 6 months, or a little over 6 months. We graduated in, I can say, mid-October, don't remember exact date. And here we go. We are in the market. We are getting those calls and we're getting those interviews. Before that, I want to let you guys know that even during mentoring and even during studying, us as students, we connected with each other. We did mock interviews with each other beside studying, beside learning. So what I can say, we connected, and we tried to practice as much for the market, and everything that Adina and Oscar and the other mentors had shared as far as templates or coding tasks or in previous interview questions from other students. Currently, right now, I'm working at TrueAccord. It's a debt collection agency. So we are embarking creditors. Well, there's many banks, but maybe I can just say little ones that you can understand. For example, let's say Chase Bank. You have a credit card with Chase Bank, and you fail to make those payments. Once you fail to make those payments, your credit card goes into collection. So now Chase will sell that account to my company, and then my company will be the collector of that debt. And the way we stand out from everyone in the industry, not sure if anyone has experienced those ugly calls when you have debt, or if you have heard about that. We actually send emails, or we do send calls, but everything is professional. And mostly we try to help those people that are in debt, not make them more stressed, because anything can happen. Or like with COVID that happened, everyone lost their job. So it was difficult to keep up with bills and make payments. I started working on by mid-December, so I can say I completed 3 months. I cannot clearly tell you fully exactly what my responsibilities are, because it takes 3 months, 3 to 6 months to fully learn your project and learn everything. So right now, my company, my team, it's very nice and very helpful, and they explain everything, all the questions that I have. I try to stay active and ask as many questions, and also connect with the team members as well. I'm not sure if you guys heard, like, beside coding skills and technical skills, soft skills is very important. That's what will get you the job, and that's what will keep the job for you, besides being technical as well. Um, uh, so far, I'm not sure, do you guys have any questions or anything? Because I can talk so much and I can explain so much. But does anyone has any questions so far of what I've explained? No? Okay, I can continue.
Sorry.
Yes.
Can I ask a question, Emma?
Hi, Atif. How are you?
How's everything with you?
Good,
Could
thank
you
you.
please tell me a little bit about the interview process? I mean, actually, I have two questions. How it went for you? Let's say how many interviews you have, from where you applied, like all that stuff. And my second question, let's say you start a job at the company, obviously like a 1 or 2 week stay, like a training. They're gonna explain you everything. After that, like obviously you will have some questions. How that part was for you? Like how the team was reacting for you? Like I believe like they expecting, okay, we have someone with a 5-6 years experience. Maybe you sometimes ask like some like a simple question. They may like interesting, like why you asking those questions and all that stuff. Like how that stuff was for you, just in general.
Yeah, that's a very good question because I thought the same way as you, actually. Even when joining the company, I'm like, oh my God, should I ask this question? Am I supposed to know this? You know, how are my coworkers or how my manager gonna think if I ask a question? But I can just say that luckily enough that my team is very nice and explains everything, and they understand that maybe you come from a company where you use different technologies. And that's how I try to manage it. For example, if they're using a tool that I don't have experience with, I can just say, hey, I didn't previously work with this. For example, what can I say? Let me give you an example, a simple example. Oh, I didn't work with Jira. I'm just giving an example. We did study Jira, right? You cannot be an expert at Jira, especially if you say you have 5 years of experience, and then you can just bring in another tool. Oh, at my previous company, I used Rally. Rally, it's pretty much same as Jira. And then that's how your team will be like, okay, so they haven't used this tool, they don't understand it, it's okay, I will teach them or I will help them. So my team is always willing to help, because if you pass that interview, they know that you have the knowledge. If you went through the interview starting from the recruiter, starting from the manager, and starting from the CFO and so on, they know that you have that knowledge. It's just that maybe you use different stack of tools, and that happens because not every company uses the same technologies. Interview process. So like I said, graduated October, mid-October. I was intensively applying. I can say my first day, maybe I sent out 100 applications or 200, as crazy as it sounds. I was just applying anywhere, right? And maybe out of those 100, 200 applications, maybe I got three, probably 4 or 5 calls or so. And then after that, I just continue applying or connecting with recruiters. Once you put open to work on LinkedIn, not sure if you guys all have LinkedIn, but once you start putting open to work and make sure you fill out your LinkedIn properly, you will receive emails, messages from recruiters that are actually hiring for different companies or that are like contractors. So make sure you reply to every message when they contact you. Set up a call. Initial call usually is with recruiter, and they are not really interviewing you. They just want your experience, how many years, which companies, how much experience you have, and what tools you have used. And rarely some recruiters can ask few technical questions. Oh, what is black box testing, or very, very simple questions. They don't go much into technical or detail. They just gather information and they share it to their manager. If you're a match with your experience and with your tool stack, then they will move you to the next round, which is the manager. Then with the manager, it just depends if he will ask you a technical question or a team fit questions. Currently, in my company, it was more of a team fit. So my company gathers all the information from the recruiter and they say, okay, they have the certain amount of experience and certain tools that I've used in the past, and I believe they're good. So we use the same language, Java, for example. Okay, then the manager can be in my interview. He was very nice. We didn't talk about anything technical. He just wanted to know how I interact with it. He wanted to know if we can communicate and understand each other, or what do I do for fun? What do I do outside of work? You know, that was my interview. After that, I was moved to the next round. It was a very simple technical interview. I just had to solve a Selenium task, very basic. I'm not sure if you guys have moved into Selenium, like open your driver, quit your driver, navigate to a page or a URL, and so on. And after that, I had interview with he is higher manager, the manager of my manager. I cannot say CFO, but is general manager. And from there, there was behavioral questions, pretty much how would you handle a conflict in team, or you can drive that interview. You can ask questions too. Don't just sit and wait for them to drive the conversation. You can be the driver. Oh, hey, where are you based? Try to make it sometimes maybe personable. There's people that can connect and there's people that are very serious. In my case, we just connected. Oh, I live in Chicago. Oh, you live in San Francisco. Have you ever visited Chicago? Try to uh, these people that are interviewing, you don't know how if they have a stressful day at work, if they had interviewed 5 other people in front of you, try to make it as pleasant as possible for both sides. So maybe when they get off the interview with you, say, hey, I wanted this person in the team. I enjoyed the conversation. They're smart, they passed the coding challenge, they have the experience, and I felt like I connected with them. I would like to have this person in the team. And that's why I was hired, actually. When once I was hired, I asked, hey, why did you guys pick me out of all the interviews? And they said, because, oh, well, I like your personality. I think you're a good fit for our team, because my team, they don't want just a robot or a computer just working there. They want someone that they can communicate with and they can connect with as well. Not sure if I answer correctly to your questions or fully, but I tried to my best ability, Akif. Do you have any follow-up questions, or did I miss anything? Because your question was a little bit long.
No, that was like actual perfect answer. I'm just thinking about the next questions, to be honest. I have like a couple ideas, just want to prepare it in my head and explain you on the right way.
Okay.
I'm definitely, I will ask you a couple more questions.
Okay, sure. Maybe I can give you guys a couple advices to stay together. So what I did when we went in the market, we started, I'm not sure you guys know, but the DevX offered our office for us where we could go there and receive calls or connect with each other and see how the market is going for all of the students that actually wanted to go in the office. Mind you that it was a little bit COVID situation, so some people were scared and they didn't want to come and interview from home, but some of us decided to go there, and we learned a lot from each other. So I kind of went 1 week after in the market from my other teammates. My resume was not ready, kind of procrastinated a little bit, be sincere here, right? So I kind of knew and I had that experience how the market was actually going, how they were talking to recruiters and what kind of questions they were kind of asking. So I was a little bit prepared and knew what was coming for me, kind of. So the first week, I had a very limited schedule, but I tried to schedule interviews right back to back to back to back. Do not leave one interview today, one interview tomorrow. Try to schedule everything in one day, so maybe you don't waste your whole week and just have one interview a day or 2 interviews a day. So I did interview for 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Those days for me were just full interviews back to back. What I did with 2 other group mates, we actually created a calendar. We stayed together, we helped each other, we shared the calendar with each other. And in the meantime, let's just say Akif, when Akif has an interview at that with a manager, because with a recruiter, actually, you don't need assistance, you don't need help. But if Akif will be moved to the second round manager, I will make sure me and the other person, we will not schedule an interview during that time, and we will fully help that person in the interview if they need help, and so on. We did for each other. I'm not sure if it sounds confusing or clear for you guys, but what we did is we helped each other during interviews. And besides helping, we even helped each other, because while I was listening to the interview that the other person was having, I was actually in my head answering, and I was practicing. So maybe when I had an interview and I had the same questions, I already knew the answer, or I had already kind of prepared for it. And in the meantime, I had listened to the answer that the other group mate had gave. So maybe I can take that answer, I can refine it, and maybe give a better answer or a better idea, right? So it was a win-win from both sides. We helped each other and we helped ourselves as well. And from this, I can say that all three of us got job offers back to back to back. So the key is to stay together and help each other, because it will help the other person and it will help you as well. Anyone else has?
I have a
more questions?
question
Yeah,
here.
sure, go,
Hi,
Malika.
hi Emma. My name is
Hi.
Malika. Thank you for coming and like sharing your story. I appreciate this. So, uh, my question is, so when you were like in your batch, like during classes, was it did you have some thoughts like, is it hard? And once you got your job and you started like working, was it like expectation and reality, like what you studied and what is your like actual work is like in
Malika.
reality, like
Okay, hi Malika. Thank you for the question, and thank you for having me here, and thank you for listening. So, expectation. I mean, the further you study, the harder starts getting, because you are learning more and you're gaining more knowledge, and now you have to put the pieces together, right? How everything works. Um, it was hard, but it was doable. I cannot say that it's not doable. I mean, if you focus and even watch, there's many of YouTube videos and there's many of Udemy classes that you can just watch like 3-hour video, a particular topic. And if you need further assistance, I can recommend this kind of stuff. Udemy classes are not very expensive. If you check it the first day, it can be like $100, but after 2 days it can go $11, that class. So that's the best money ever spent, I could say. But i I would say that I don't think you need it. I think the instructors, they explain everything very well, so it's not necessary, but that's up to you. If you want to know deeper, go deeper and be no more. Expectations, of course, like going in the market, I was scared. Oh my god, am I going to get a job? Is November, end of October, November, holidays are coming, is the company hiring? um, so I had many questions, many thoughts, but like I said, I stayed together with my teammates and I kind of knew what questions they were receiving, and I kind of saw how interviews were going for them, and I kind of knew what to expect. But even for me, I'm not sure. I mean, what can I say about my personality? I'm a go-getter. So if something comes my way, I will find a solution. So yeah, I don't know, take this out of the mentality like, oh my God, what if I don't know? What are they gonna think about me? Just be open-minded. Any question, if you don't know, hey, just tell them, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have experience with that. It's normal. You cannot know everything in the market. You cannot know all the technologies, but everything that you're learning at school, make sure you're the best of it. All the knowledge that they're sharing with you, Selenium, API, database, GitHub, you will use it. Make sure at least you know this very good. So don't be average, okay? So just be good, stand out. Um, what can I say? I mean, after we graduated, a lot of students got offers. It was you know, we were all scared. We didn't know what to expect, but I can say 80% maybe rate of getting offers. 80% of the people that graduated, that applied and they studied hard and they looked for a job, they got offers. I can say there's many offers out there.
Yep, it's about 80%.
Yeah, I'm pretty much, yeah. We still stay in touch with the students, so stay in touch with each other. Do not just graduate and then keep this connection. It will help you in the future. Consider yourself as either future coworkers or past coworkers, maybe. You don't know if any of you guys will start in a company. I currently, at the company where I'm working, I referred one of the past students, and he just got hired and he will start maybe in 1 or 2 weeks. So keep those connections with each other. You don't know when you will help each other or work together.
Thank you, Emma.
No problem. Thank you. I hope I answer your questions fully.
So could you like describe your current application? Is it user for like end user, or is it for a company?
So my current application, like I said, it takes maybe up to 6 months to fully understand it. The first month, what we are mostly just setting up our laptops, connecting everything, setting all the tools that we will need to use for our framework, testing framework, and so on. But my application it's a software for users. It's not internal, it's external. So currently, I'm not doing much automation because they do, in my team, we have 6 QAs and we're trying to expand it. So at the moment we have 6 QAs and 1 manager. I'm kind of all over the place because they're still considering onboarding. So they have different projects. Let's just say today we're onboarding 1 client, Bank of America. So we will create an application for Bank of America where we'll transition all the information that Bank of America will give us and all the debtors, and we will put everything in our system, and we will put all those people that have a debt. At the moment, they're just making me create test plans into Jira because you have to start somewhere, right? You have to start to understand your application. So what I'm doing is creating test plans, putting test plans into Jira, and then at the moment, just manually testing all those test cases, test scenarios, testing those manually and filing bugs. It feels pretty good when you find a bug, actually. I'm gonna tell you guys, the first bug, you're like, yay, makes yourself feel worth it, right? Oh, I'm doing something good. That, and I did minimal automation for Selenium, which is front end, but very minimal because my team doesn't expect me to know everything. As soon as I come there and I understand, every application is different. Selenium, and also testing manually with Postman as well. Very minor database, but like I said, I'm just all over the place right now. I'm considered a second. So for each creditor that they have a primary QA, they have a secondary QA. So I'm secondary QA. Once the primary QA that knows everything about application needs help, they will ask me, they will explain, and I will assist them if they have many tickets that they need to test. And then the more time passes, then I will be primary QA for a certain project that they have. But they have many projects going on, and my company is expanding, so I'm just all over the place at the moment. But every company is not going to expect you to know their application and start automating and doing things there, right? There's a procedure for each company. First, they need to onboard you. Second, they will give you very minimal tasks. So at least you're not just staying there, not doing anything, but you will do small tasks with the help of the other QAs. Did I answer your question?
I mean, yeah, you did.
Emma, can I ask you about your interviews? I mean, you went through a lot of interviews, right?
A lot. Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about those were the ones that you failed and what kind of questions you were not able to answer? What were there like any tricky questions or anything like that?
Not really. I didn't have any tricky questions. It just depends what the company is looking for. If your experience doesn't match with them or your salary expectation sometimes doesn't match. For example, I requested a certain amount and they were not paying that certain amount that I requested. And I was not willing to budget or like work with them because there's other offers out there that actually pay more than maybe what I was requesting. Failing interviews, I can say in the beginning I was actually very honest. Sometimes honesty is good, but sometimes not. So first interviews, they would ask you like, where are you in the interview process? And I was being honest. Oh, I just recently started interviewing, so I'm just basically first round, which are considered the recruiters, and maybe have couple second round move to manager. And then after that, I didn't hear anything. There were interviews, then I'm like, I started picking up, right? So they asked me questions again, like other recruiters, because they want to know if you're the right candidate. They will push you through the interview process very fast. But if they see that you're not like wanted in the market, they'll be like, maybe they're not as good. So I got the same question again, different recruiters or different or manager maybe level. Where are you in the interview process? Oh, next week I have a final round interview and I would like to know where I stand with your company because I need to make a decision, or once I receive an offer, if I do receive an offer, so from that final interview, I want to compare or something like that. I made myself seem as I'm very busy in the market and I'm on my final rounds. And so now the other companies will push you further to last rounds as well. And some because the recruiter will stay in touch with you throughout the whole process, even if you are not interviewing with them after the first round, but they want to know, hey, if you receive an offer, let us know, okay? Or if you're close to receiving an offer, let us know, because they want to know if they should push you or maybe move further with other candidates. So
Okay,
don't sorry, one more thing. Don't lose those connections. For example, I was interviewing with Groupon and I was supposed to schedule, they were about to schedule me with last round. In the meantime, I had received 2 offers. So I just was sincere with a recruiter that was scheduling everything with me. I sent a nice email. Hello, nice to meet you. It was very nice meeting you, very nice interviewing you. Be personable, mention their names, mention everyone that interviewed throughout the process. It was nice meeting the manager or whoever I had technical interview with. I'm very pleased that I'm considered to move to the next round. Unfortunately, I have received an offer that I will accept it, but I would like to stay in touch with you if it's any future possibilities. So don't burn those bridges. Even if you receive an offer, still be nice with whoever you interviewed, and maybe we're close to receiving an offer, because they might remember you. If you're not successful wherever you receive the offer, you can reach out to them and they will remember that you were a good candidate, you were almost in the final round, and you were not like not responsive. You received the offer and then you just disappeared, but you stayed in touch with them, you were transparent and so on. So try to keep those connections.
Thank you, Emma. So
Okay.
basically create urgency and say that, hey, like I'm almost on the stage 3. So if you want to move with me, just schedule the interview, right?
Yeah, ask them how is your interviewing process, or when are you hiring? Because some companies are looking to hire right away, next week or in 2 weeks, and there's companies that they will hire in 1 month or so. And if they're looking to hire within 1 month, their interview process will be slow as well, because
Got it.
it's urgent to fill out that spot. So you can
Mhm.
ask them as well, how is your interview process going? Is it slow? Is it fast? Because right now I'm close to receiving an offer, or I'm close to having a final interview. You can just say
Got it.
something like that.
Can I ask you another question?
Sure.
Have you been asked the question like, why are you like in the market right now? Like, why are you
Yeah,
looking for a
that's
job?
the easiest. That's the easiest question. Okay, so I'll give you my answer. Why I'm looking. So my contract is about to end right now. Uh, it will end in 2 months. I did say it will end in 2 months, but I do have green light for the manager that it's okay. I can start looking for a different opportunity if I want to, or they can extend my contract. Make sure you let them know that, hey, the company will extend your contract. So you seem as they still would like to have you. The company is not getting rid of you. They would like to have you, right? I did say that my contract is about to expire, and I did say that I'm looking for a new opportunity for full time. If you know that this company that you're interviewing with, they're hiring full time, not contract, you can mention, say, I would like to grow in your company and make an impact with my skill sets. Maybe these are like the magic words that maybe I used here. So with contract, sometimes you receive a job that is contract for 1 year. So I did mention that, oh, I had a contract job for 1 year, and as soon as I starting to learn the project and start being very good at it, then the contract is about to end and they don't have a project for you. So I'm looking for a job where I can be stable and build my future there and be a subject expert matter, for example, in your project, that everyone, that I will be there for a long time and I will know your project in and out very good, and then in the future I can help future hires, for example.
Got it. Thank you so much, Emma.
Yeah, no problem.
Hi, Emma.
Hi, Petra.
Just a quick question. Do you work mostly with UI or API?
uh like I said, I'm just doing manual testing right now. So it's just UI, but we have everything in the project. My testing framework that I was hired for is exactly the testing framework that we have and that we learned. Cucumber, Selenium, and a little bit API, not much database. So that's the testing framework where I contributed a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions or concerns that you guys have? I'm pretty sure you guys have more concerns about market, right?
Yeah, about your resume. So you said that you were sending like 100 applications a day, but have you been applying somewhere in your local city, or you were like applying all
Anywhere. I applied anywhere because yeah, my job is in San Francisco and it's full remote. It doesn't require relocation. So if you apply somewhere, I'm not sure how it is right now, because back then, even if you were hired somewhere that they need relocation, you knew that there was no vaccine back in November, and you knew that if they open up jobs, it will not be any time in June or so on. But so even if they were asking me, are you willing to relocate? I said yes. You know, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna say yes. You never know when the relocation will be required.
I see. What
Yeah.
about cover letter? Did you have one, or?
I didn't do a cover letter. It was not really required by anywhere where I applied, but I did do a follow-up, mostly was with either recruiter or with a manager, or I did do a follow-up thank you when I did have a final interview. Once I had the final interview with the team, I said, hey, I was nice meeting each person, mention their names and something that you had during that conversation with that person. And it was great interviewing with you and learning about your company. And I think I will be the best fit for your company for this reason, depending on that conversation that you had with the interviewers. So this is the one thing that I did
Okay, got it.
after the final interview.
Yeah, I got another question about your experience. So, how many companies did you list in your resume?
I
For
put 3 companies and 7-year experience.
7 years experience. Okay, 3 companies, and the companies themselves. I mean, what companies did you list there? If you don't mind me asking.
No, it's okay. I mean, it's in LinkedIn. If you check, probably it's not secret. So the first one I put TransUnion as quality analyst or like manual tester, and there I put I don't remember now, to be honest, right? But I put TransUnion, and then I put Allstate Insurance, and then the last one I put Caterpillar. It's a construction company, if you guys do know.
Got it. And when you have you been asked a question like if you were a contractor there, or you were like, what is it called when you were full time, right?
Full time, yeah. I said contractor. You guys have to say, sorry, maybe not quote me 100%, but from my understanding, you have to say contractor. You cannot say full time because you didn't work for the company. You are on a contract, and when they will do the background check for you, someone else will provide as you worked with a middle person, a contractor.
Got it. So
You
contractor.
didn't work directly with the company, because then they will want information directly from the company, and you don't have that information directly from the company.
So then another reason I can say I'm looking for a full time because of the benefits. Is from my understanding, contractors, they don't get the benefits, right?
Yeah, you can say benefits and stability too, because with contract, once that contract ends or once they don't have a project for you, you will have to look for another job, right? But with full time, they will always have something going on. You're their employee. I was thinking something else during year, but it went out of my mind.
Were you like one of the best students?
No.
With 7 years of experience. That's like impressive.
No, but I think that I could pull it off. Okay.
Have you ever
Hi,
had an imposter
Sandy.
syndrome?
I feel that every day, actually, but still, I'm managing. I'm pulling it off. I'm gonna tell you that it's. Sorry, I will get to you, Sophie, I believe. So I'm gonna tell you that when you start, it's not easy. It's not like 1, 2, 3. The other people are working 7 hours, 8 hours. You will work 12 hours. You will have, because it will take you maybe a little bit longer to understand everything that is going on, because like you will go there, I believe, with 4-year experience, 5-year experience, or 6 years, depending what you're putting on your resume. So there's times I can work for 13, 15 hours. It's not easy. But if you want to be successful in that company, you have to read a lot through the documentation to learn the project yourself, and maybe Google here and there. As you know, Google is your best friend. So to understand everything and to get up to speed with everyone in the team.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Safi, I think I pronounced your name correct.
Yeah, my question, hi, Emma.
Hi.
My question also was about this 7 years of experience, because right now we're thinking about how many years we should write in our resume. I just wondering, haven't you regretted about this amount of years in terms of pressure, in terms of expectations from you? What can you advise for us to write?
It's a good question. It's like I said, it depends how confident you're in yourself, right? I felt pretty confident. I felt that I can pull it off. Anything that they will tell me, I will find a way, I will do it. But while you're at work, they're not constantly reminding you. Whoever you interviewed with, maybe it's not in the team that you're even working at, so they don't know exactly your experience. They don't know where you worked at. You might have those conversations while you're working, but not everyone is even interested in that sometimes. I did have one coworker and said, "Oh, where did you work before?" Because me and her started the same day, so we kind of connected because me and her were new and we were learning about the project. So as we were communicating with each other, she asked me where did I work at, and I mentioned Caterpillar, and she's like, "Oh my god, I have a friend that works at Caterpillar." And you have to just pull it off, right? And I'm like, "Oh, what is their name?" And their name was Muhammad. I'm like, "Oh, my company is so huge, it has 5,000 employees. I think there's like 100 Muhammad or so." So I mean, you just don't be scared, just be confident and pull it off. Like, even if they say, "Oh, I know someone in the company," "Oh, maybe they worked in a different project or something." One thing that I can say is, when you pick a project, pick a big company where it has a lot of employees, because you can get lost there. The company where I'm working at has only 300 employees. If you will put on your resume that you were working at TrueAccord as a QA or as that, the other QAs will see it, because it's only 6 of us in the team. And they're like, "Hey, this person never worked with us." I'm not sure what can happen in that case, but pick large companies, big companies, that it's so hard to find which team you were working with and who you were working with directly, because sometimes you can. I skipped one interview, by the way. This is one story. I had one interview, second round, with someone, and I went to LinkedIn prior to having the interview with them. I went on LinkedIn to see their profile, like where they worked before. And this person had that they had worked for like 10 years at Allstate, and I actually had put in my resume that I'm working at Allstate. I said, "Oh no, I'm skipping this interview. How am I going to explain my project to him? He worked there for 10 years. He knows the project in and out. I just have some information that I got online or through other people or so on." So make sure whoever you have interview with, check their LinkedIn, check where they worked at, check some of their background history, so maybe you don't get caught.
Hi, Emma.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
During interview, did you have a lot of questions about your current last project? And
Yeah, I did. Every company will ask you that. First question is, tell me about yourself. You will tell them about yourself, how many years experience you have with, and then you will say you started off as manual tester, and with time and opportunity was given in your company, you started learning automation with the help of your manager or your team, and you're currently know both automation and manual testing. Then you can start saying experience on which domains you had, pretty much what I mentioned. I mentioned a little bit about my personality. I can just say that, "Oh, I'm a fast learner. Wherever you put me, I will find my way out." But you can joke sometimes on interviews, say, "Hey, that's for you to find out when you hire me." Like I said, don't sound like a robot. try to be fun and entertaining for them. They like people that smile and they like people that communicate, and will make the interview sound smoothly. After that, you mention about your project. Don't go in detail. There's sometimes they don't want to know in detail your project. You just say what your project does. We are a debt collection agency that we collect debt in for our creditor clients, for customers, and just small description, unless if they ask you to go further in detail. They will ask you what testing you do. I'm pretty sure like smoke or regression or sanity. Not sure what you guys have prepared for your project and so on. But don't go too much in detail. Don't offer too much unless they ask you.
What is
Just
your team structure? Do you have people who have zero experience in their resumes? Is it possible at all to find a job with 0 years in your resume?
it will be very hard because it's like if you have zero experience, where did you learn how to do this job? You don't have a degree from a university, because if you do have a degree from university and they say, hey, they know how to do this, but they are zero experience, right? You can just say manual, because sometimes you can get lucky and they're looking for manual testers, but you have to have at least a minimal experience, maybe minimum 3 years, I can say. But I mean, the more experience sometimes you have, the better it is. That's why I try to put 6 to 7 years, because I think at the time over 30 students graduated, and I think everyone had 5-year experience. 3 companies, 5-year experience. You want to stand out, right? You want to be a little bit different.
Yeah, I just don't want to lie, you know.
Oh,
Like,
You can put -2, it's okay also. Emma, I have a question. Top 5 questions that you ask to your employer, because you mentioned that you have to ask also. Which question? You start from benefits or?
I honestly don't. Benefits is the last of my thought, like thankful I have a job. Benefits, they will just give you, HR will give you a sheet of paper that will explain the benefits. That's total different department with HR.
Question from your side was just to keep the conversation, right?
Yeah, to keep the conversation. Hey, where are you located? Because everyone where I interviewed were from outside. Have you visited Chicago? Oh, what do you do? How are you handling working from home or the transition? Because back then it was pretty fresh, pretty new. I did mention, oh, I'm a little bit scared to start a new company from online. It feels a little bit weird. I've never met them, because at the current company I was working there and I transitioned online, so I already knew the team. And you can ask them, I'm a little bit afraid. So how is your team? How is your experience there? You mean questions during the interview, right? Or questions once? Okay, questions during the interview. I would ask, how is your team culture? Because for me, it's very important. I want to work with a team that is that has a very good culture, right? You ask them. How do you like working for your company? How long you've been working and how do you like it? You can ask them personable questions. Oh, what language, what coding language do you use or so? So during my interview where I got hired, the person that was doing the interview for the coding language, he didn't know Java. He just had the coding language there, but he knew Python, he knew Scala, he knew all this JavaScript, all these other languages. And I tried to make it, oh my God, you're so smart. I would like to learn from you. I would like to work with you and learn so many languages. I only know Java, but I'm willing to learn other languages. So make them feel good about themselves too. I mean, you just want them to, once they get off that interview, you're like kind of in their mind a little bit, because they do share. So I saw the process when they interviewed my friend. The manager interviewed me. The manager messaged me right away. Hey, I interviewed your friend. He was very great. he said. Then the other person that was going to do the technical interview asked me, hey, what language does your friend know? And I'm like, Java. And I'm like, he's like, okay, I'm gonna give him a Java task. And nothing, like, they're very friendly. And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. And then once the QA finished interviewing him, he came right away to me, hey, oh my God, he was so great. I moved into the next round, and so on. Like,
Majority is behavior, right?
yeah, so they had a different interview with another person, and we were in a meeting, and the manager asked him, hey, so how was your interview with other QA? And he's like, I don't know, she was very serious, like I couldn't connect with her. He's like, I couldn't try to have a conversation with her. He's like, the skills are there, but I don't know about team fit. I will move her to next round, he said, but I'm not 100% sure because of communication, for example. I think the other person was very serious and stiff or nervous. So try to like think like you're having a conversation with a friend or something. I know it's not easy, right? But for you to stand out and get that job, you have to give your maximum.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Emma.
Hi.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Hi, Ludmila. I think you can go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I have a question also about the technical part of the interview. Was it challenging for you? And I mean, did someone help you maybe during like a coding challenge or something like this?
Yes, yes to all your questions. So some of them, they were challenging, and I did have help during the interview. Like I said, it was 3 of us. We were helping each other. We were doing screen sharing and connecting our screens with their laptops so they can see what I have in my screen, and I can see what they're typing on the other screen. So I had double screens. Teaching you guys some tricks how to cheat a little bit on the interview. So pretty much that's what we did. Even during answers, we can type the answer, even a behavioral question. We can type and we can read it. Try to have your screen somewhere so the eyes don't move too much. Like if they move here on the side, they can tell, right? Or you can create a Google share that you will have on your screen on the other side. And on the other side is the interview. The camera is always on. So have a Google sheet where you're sharing it, and they can type right there the answer for you. Coding was a little bit challenging, but you just try to buy some time and ask questions. Like I believe we learned this during coding, that ask questions. Is it null? Does it has value? Is the array empty? And so on. Try to ask as many questions. Sometimes these questions, you get points for these questions. I had to solve a task, and I had to reverse a string. I believe I had to reverse, but I asked, what if the string is empty? You kind of creating your test cases there pretty much. What if this string is empty? So if this string is empty, it's not going to return anything or reverse anything. It will be null or so on. So try to ask some questions.
Is that the task that you gave me on the interview, to count numbers from a string?
Right.
Yeah.
I can recognize you because of your cat picture. No, it's not that one. The interview that I had where I got hired was very easy. I can say the easiest task. Just 8 lines of code, navigate to the driver, change window, open window, close the driver. I don't remember exactly everything, but it was just basic Selenium task.
Do you work
Thank you so much.
IntelliJ?
Yes, you can pick since you are using Java. We all code with Java. You pick your own tool, so they don't restrict you on that. So yeah, I use IntelliJ, but mostly everyone uses IntelliJ. Pretty much everything there is the same. I have Cucumber, Postman, They have Jenkins too. They have a lot of other tools that even if you don't know, you can just pull it off. Oh, I don't have much experience. Or I said, for example, on Selenium, I said, oh, I haven't used Selenium in 2 years because at my current job where I was working at Caterpillar, I was just doing mostly rest assured API testing and database. So you can just pull it off. Whatever they give you, if you don't know, you can just say, oh, well, I haven't done this for 2 years, but it will take me some time. I'll just to refresh or something like that. If you don't know. If you know, you go for it. Hey, I use Selenium. I know I'm very confident and I can do this. I think Helen had a question earlier.
Hi, Emma. Yes,
Yes.
we ran out of time, but just a quick question. Did you upgrade your resume every time when you apply to the company? Depends on their requirements. And also, we've been told that they check the background, special education. Did you put any?
To be honest, I didn't change. I tried for 1 or 2, but I stopped. I didn't change it. It's okay. You just see the description, what they're requiring. Does it match with the experience that you have? If it doesn't match with the experience that you have, it's not worth of you applying. The first day I was just applying everywhere, but after that I started becoming a little more selective where I was applying. I can tell you I used built-in. Don't use just built-in Chicago. Built-in can be any other states, Colorado, San Francisco, I don't know, all these other places. Just use the built-in site. That was very effective. And Angel List, that's where I applied and it was very effective. I can say 90% of the places that I applied on these sites, I did receive a call. But with LinkedIn, it was mostly through recruiters than applications. I don't know, somehow, maybe my resume was not being parsed or the information. For me, it was not very successful, but maybe for others, it did work. So apply a lot on Build-In and Angel List. I can say these are the 2 main sites that were very successful for me. And you had a second question, Helen?
Education, the background education.
Education. So I tested myself since I received 2 offers. In one job, I did put my education. In one job, I didn't put the education, and I passed both of them.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you so much, Emma. It was very useful.
No problem. Thank you. I hope I answer all your questions and hope it will help you in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Emma.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
All right. Bye, guys.